Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me for your daily tarot reading. I ask you to choose the stone that draws you, the one you have a hunch you should pick, and we'll begin. We'll ask the magic of your intuition and your guides to help you to hear what you're supposed to hear today. For those of you who chose this lovely fossil stone, we have the Devil. We have the Seven of Wands, we have the Ten of Wands. Oh, this makes so much sense to me. Okay, so we know what kind of bedevilment we're talking about here. Whenever the Devil card comes up, that's bedevilment. That's thinking or doing something sort of over and over, almost expecting a different result, or yeah, a lot of times it's obsessing or worrying. So anyway, the Devil is some kind of excessive something that has you feeling trapped. Now, the Ten of Wands. So it may be you feel overburdened, and it may be that in your mind are all of the things that you should be doing, or all of the things you are worried about, and they intrude. They're just too active up there. You can only do one thing at a time, and there are many of the things we worry about never ever happen, and we can't do anything about them if they did. So if that's what's going on, and that's why you may feel burdened with that Ten of Wands, then the Devil card is really saying you are suffering. Is really saying you are suffering with this. This needs to be dispensed with. The Seven of Wands, now that is standing your ground. That may feel like somebody's coming after you. Or it could be these wands you're carrying are kind of coming after you. But you're standing your ground. You're doing just fine. You're doing just fine. So I think that today, maybe Source is saying, let go of that stuff in your brain. Let go of that stuff. You don't have to be bedeviled. You can do one thing at a time. Maybe you're putting way too much on yourself. And I know sometimes life just does that. You know, very competent people tend to have a lot of responsibilities. Empathetic, caring, compassionate people tend to have a lot of concerns that go on in their mind. But none of that helps. And it just brings suffering. You remember in the Rider-Waite, the Devil card, it's the two lovers, and they're chained to the Devil. They're chained to something and to each other. And in that card, the chains around their neck are loose. They could actually just pull them up over their head and walk away. And that is true of anything that's bedeviling us. It's really it's always a lie, really. It's always a I don't know. We're thinking wrong about something. Even if there are plenty of things in our life that are very difficult or very challenging or sad or, you know, not good to us with that Seven of Wands, that could be the case. Still, I think Source says, don't give up on peace. We can still put every one of those issues in the hands of a loving Source to take care of it for us and lead us in the way that will help us to be instrumental in that. But lead us step by step. We don't need to carry it all on our backs. So that is this reading is about freeing yourself, and it's very possible. And it's also about saying, hey, you're standing your ground. You're doing all right. So very interesting one. For those of you who chose the orange gold stone, it's a manufactured stone. Well, it has parts that are natural too, though, but I like it. Okay, we have the Nine of Coins, we have the Three of Swords, and we have the Ace of Swords. Wow, okay. Well, okay. These are minor arcana. These are probably not big deals, but they're things in your day or your week. So the Three of Swords is a pattern that hurts you or brings resentment, something. Well, a lot of times resentment is based on hurt, isn't it? A pattern of thoughts that are hurtful to you, or a pattern from somebody else, that they do the same thing again, or you encounter the same problem again, and you may feel that. It's a minor thing, minor arcana day, but we do get tired of that. You know what? The Ace of Swords may bring you, that source bringing you an epiphany, a revelation. It may bring you a new way of looking at that really helps, because we have an amazing ability in our consciousness, amazing, to open it up to a different perspective and say, Source, how do you want me to look at it? And you can do this in journaling. You can meditate and think on nothing, and then it comes clear. Or you can meditate, do guided, whatever, walk, whatever. But you know what? We ask, and what do we do? Receive a new way of looking at it, if we're willing to. If we're willing to. Now, that Three of Swords can give us a lot of trouble. Because we have repeating ways of thinking about this problem. The Ace of Swords, heck, you know what? Even if people who are grieving the loss of a loved one, which everybody agrees would be heartbreaking, sometimes there comes a point where Source brings a thought, a revelation about where that loved one is, or about something that feels unresolved, and there's freedom. There's the suffering lifts for the person. There is. I have trouble believing it sometimes too, but there is no exception to that rule. Asking Source to help us does help the situation. There are some situations that are so difficult, anybody would find them so hurtful, but Source can help us. The Nine of Coins is saying, don't forget to be good to yourself. Don't forget your blessings. Don't forget that you deserve to enjoy this physical earth, this physical existence. So maybe you want to enjoy some luxuries. And you deserve that. That's good for you. So sometimes this comes up when somebody else is hurtful to us. This would be saying, well, they really are not able to harm you, because you're a self-made woman, you're a self-made man, and you be good to you. You do something that's good for you. Very interesting. Very interesting. I find the spiritual journey quite challenging. I feel like we're all gaining more freedom. We gain more freedom as we are living more in our eternal self, our eternal being, our eternal knowledge. Easier said than done. This is the work of a lifetime. For those of you who chose the blue and white stone. Oh, I need to take that back. Maybe not the work of a lifetime, because we also can have these blinding revelations. Okay. I need to take that back. Okay, so for those of you who chose this lovely blue and white stone, we have the Ace of Coins, the Six of Swords, the Eight of Cups. Okay, so the Ace of Coins, Source is helping you with your security, giving you an opportunity, perhaps for some money, perhaps for a different kind of security, but it's physical, perhaps health, giving you an idea, giving you an opportunity, giving you, even just giving this to you. So that's nice. My goodness, we have a lot of aces in the last two readings. Eight of Cups is about nostalgia. The Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is about that slow trip into calmer waters in the Rider-Waite. In this case, It looks like a trip to a calmer place, a better place. The Six of Swords is usually gradual, and everything that's been difficult that we've learned is going to help us on our journey to have a better future. So a lot of times this one comes up when if there is something that we've been going through, we're still going through, but we start to feel like it's better than it was, and I'm getting freer than I was. That's right. Source would be saying, yes, exactly. And you're moving into the calmer waters gradually. You're moving out of turbulence into the calmer waters gradually. This can have to do with thoughts too. Swords are thoughts, so it could be a lot of the turmoil is in your thought life too, and you could be moving to greater peace and freedom from that. This is the Steampunk Tarot, and so they're on a blimp of some sort. So that's really about the thoughts, isn't it? Like becoming free. So you're not burdened by your thoughts, but instead looking to a more positive future. Yeah, the Eight of Cups is nostalgia. It's looking back. It's maybe you're talking to somebody you knew from a long time back, or maybe you're just looking at your past and what's worked for you and what's not worked for you emotionally, because these are cups. This one's about relationships, sometimes about siblings, but it's a nice card. It's a nice card. We have all these upright cups. In the Rider-Waite, they have flowers in them. It's a nice card. So I think that Source is bringing you help for whatever it is you've possibly been worrying about or dealing with. It's hard. It's hard when we have things in life that are very challenging, or even long periods of time that are very challenging. It shakes up our faith in Source. It shakes up our faith in ourselves sometimes. It just does. But it can be revived. It can be revived. Oh, goodness. For those of you who would like a little further clarification, we have the Golden Nugget. The Hierophant. This is the Hierophant. Okay, now that's a major arcana. So the Hierophant, if you had thoughts during your reading about a goal, how do I achieve that? Well, the Hierophant would say, find a group of people who are wanting to do the same thing and join them in some way. Be involved in some kind of structure. Be a joiner. And then we can get to where we want to be. A lot of times we get frustrated because we try something over and over ourselves, and you just need some support. You need some structure. You need sometimes other people, communication with other people who are doing the same thing. If you are wondering if you should get some advice from an expert, yes, the Hierophant would say yes, because the Hierophant is about laws, traditions. The Hierophant sometimes comes up when you're going to be using a governmental kind of contract, a legal contract, something like that, some kind of structure in a department of the government to accomplish something or to resolve something. And so that's encouraging for that, because it's working. This is upright. It's working. Sometimes the Hierophant is about the shoulds, though. Once in a while, the Hierophant comes up and it's not a positive card. It's sort of like maybe feeling a little stifled by the traditions, the expectations, the social mores, what you're expected to do. And so the Hierophant can sometimes show up and it's not such a positive card. And there's something, it's time to do something about that. Time to free yourself from a way of thinking that is perhaps, you were raised to believe, but is it really? Is it really that way? Perhaps you've been trying to fit yourself into a socially acceptable kind of lane, and it's just killing your joy. Perhaps you've been worrying too much about what other people think. Are they going to think I'm being appropriate? Are they going to think I'm shirking a responsibility? Are they going to think I'm not a good fill in the blank at work? What are they thinking? The Hierophant, sometimes if it's a negative reading, it calls your attention to something you want to challenge, you want to let go of. You want to remember that only other human beings have created these opinions, these customs. It's only been other human beings, and you're a human being, so your way of looking at it is just as valid. So once in a while, Hierophant is about that. Sometimes it's about religion. And that could be positive or negative for you in your life right now. But very interesting. The Hierophant to me is always so thought-provoking. There's so many different possibilities. Well, I thank you all so very much for coming to this reading today, and for, the like button. I really do appreciate it when you click the like button. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.